Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful, fantabulous, and mystical day. My name is Emmanuel Aguilar, aka Mystic Fox 4, and in case you don't know who I am or what I do, that's my name. I like doing illustration and character design, and yeah, card games. So, if you aren't familiar with the series, this is going to be all or no breaks, where I go on to ArtStation originally and poke around and find different artists and things that I like or what I use and present them to you on a weekly basis so that you yourself can develop and not have to go through ArtStation kind of looking around and finding different things. But the real purpose is, the maniacal purpose is, so that you yourself get addicted to going on ArtStation and you find other artists that you like and then you stalk them in like a friendly and productive way, right? On this episode, we're going to be featuring a lot of Magic the Gathering artists and kind of some of the artists that I like. Now, this is going away from ArtStation, so like not really ArtStation, mainly because some of these artists are so well known and they're so good at what they do that they don't actually go on ArtStation anymore, or at least that I wasn't able to find like a proper ArtStation that they own. So this is actually just their websites. Now, if you're not comfortable going to their personal websites, well, sucks to be you, I guess. I don't really know what to tell you, man. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the first artist I'm going to be featuring is called Darek Zabrocki. Now his artworks are just really cool. As you can see on screen here, the first artwork. This is just initially clicking on his website and just kind of scrolling down. You can see like just really cool stuff, and how he designs like his world building and stuff. I really do like how it doesn't like it's not like fully polished like render, but like from far away, like if you zoom out or you squint your eyes, it looks right. Like it looks finished, right? But that just goes to show like you don't have to like go and polish every little thing that nobody's really gonna notice. And it also gives like a different aesthetic to it. Like it's very interesting to look at. Um and like this is just really cool here how he did this. This beast here in the front in the foreground is so cool. I like I think that's what I like. He focuses on certain areas and has you like invested in like what they look like, and then he won't put too much detail on a lot of other things. I think it's a way of just having you focus at certain areas, which is something that I would like to focus on in my personal artwork and not have everything be super like rendered or anything. Like just focus, like learning how to focus details. I think is really cool. Like you can clearly see like here is like a main point, and then you have this guy here. Anything close to the camera, I think, is where he puts a little bit more detail into. But other than that, like if it's not like critically important, like this flag here, he just kind of uh shows that, oh yeah, there's a flag here and it has stuff on it, but he doesn't go into detail of like what it is all the time. Um, this one's really cool. I don't even know if this one's for Magic, but it's just really interesting. But he has a lot of really cool artworks. I really like this one. I think this one's a vampire card actually in MTG, but I could be wrong. But even here, again, you see the same thing, where it's like more detail here, not as much detail here, but it's like fairly rounded off, so you can kind of get a general idea. But if this was a card like in your hand, like that's three inches tall, like you're not going to be able to see every little detail. So from zoomed out, this looks amazing, right? And just in general, like the composition of everything is just really cool. I actually found him through his Goblin cards, which is really interesting. I'm a big fan of Goblin cards in Magic the Gathering. I think they're probably one of the funner subgenre of cards to run, or maybe archetype is a better word for it. But they're just really like flimsy and weird. Um, and they're super aggro, so they're just like really fun. I like this card. I believe he's a sacrificial vampire, but he has some zombies in his collection. This one's really cool. Um, I actually don't know which card this is for. I believe it's a newer card, but I could be wrong. I don't remember off the top of my head. But just really insane looking stuff, like almost photo, but like if you're zoomed out or whatever. But I think that's the beauty in his actual artwork, is the fact that you it look zoomed in, it doesn't look amazing. Like if we just zoomed in here, this is not rendered or polished or anything like in that way. Like if you zoom out and you look at the whole piece overall, it's gorgeous, man. Like it's just insane. And how like the subtlety in this background is like, these are just a couple strokes, right? And he probably sat there and like really did those strokes, because I think he does his work traditionally. Some of it is probably digital, but like this looks digital, right? But this looks more painterly. I don't know. I wonder if he did this digitally. I'll probably check that out later on. But this is gorgeous. I love this. This type of monster is probably my jam. Like I'm really into monster type things like this. So, without further ado, if you guys like this guy, you can check his website down below in the description. His artwork's just amazing. So now we're going to be talking about Karl Kopinski. Now, a lot of you guys know who Karl Kopinski is. I don't gotta sit here and tell you and drone on about how great his artwork is, but Karl Kopinski's artwork is gorgeous, right? I don't have his Magic the Gathering stuff at hand here because I clicked on his site a little while ago and I don't know if he's updating it or what's going on, but they kind of disappeared on me. Um, but if you can find his artworks, I know they're here in the background, like as displays. I can't manage to find them here, but if you look them online, I'm sure you'll find it. But his artworks are just gorgeous, you know, and his sketches and stuff that he does, you can buy a lot of his works here on his actual site. It's just gorgeous and very painterly. He has that very painterly skill set, and like how he started actually working on stuff is just very traditional based. And he's probably one of my favorite artists because like you know how like you know when you're younger, right? And you're looking at artwork and like people are like drawing stuff and things like that, and you're looking at them through the lens of like how do they make me feel, not like their polish or like how good they are, right? So like, oh, like this looks cool, right? Not like, oh, this, you know, is like high level of like execution and like it's very you know, highly polished. Like you don't think that as a kid, right? This just looks cool or it doesn't, right? And so a lot of his artwork has that feel and that vibe of like focusing more on the feeling that it evokes rather than like the technicality of it and like all of that. But not to say that he doesn't have high technical skill because he very much does. It's just that he does certain strokes and things like that. I feel sometimes to invoke a certain feeling in you rather than making um like it more polished looking or whatever. Because I think you know in the long run, actually doing artwork, like in my view, right? Like it's not so much about how well you did it; it's more about how it made somebody feel, right? And you can delve into that later on. Obviously, get a good grounding and fundamental understanding of like how you do something, because I'm sure he does this because he's also experienced, so he can spare that like bit, right? But like obviously, you know, going into it, definitely do your study, whatever, like understand stuff. But that's probably one of the harder parts to learn as an artist, and I'm still kind of trying to figure it out myself. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Now, if you haven't heard of Chris Rahn, he is a sleeper. I didn't know about him at first, right? Um, so he is one of the newer artists, I believe, that worked on the new Black Lotus. From my knowledge, I could be wrong, because I mean he has Black Lotus in his portfolio here, um, and so just this artwork, his artworks are in general are just very well executed. But what I really like is that the way that he does like um, his color palettes, right? His color palettes are on his pieces are really really unified throughout like the whole thing. By the way, this is one of my favorite cards that he artworks that he's made. Naelia, God of the Hunter. The bow that she uses is actually a card, um, and it's just really really cool. Um, I think he gives everything like a death touch or trample or something from what I remember, but I run it in like an all elves deck. And just like really sick looking cards like this, right? Like artworks and just in general. So it's this is oil on hardboard, as you can see here on the bottom. I like that he includes that so you just know like what's used. But I just really like how he executed this, and this is traditional, man. Oil on hardboard. This is traditionally made. This is it. I think traditional stuff. What it does is it invokes like a physical, like a subconscious like feeling in the artwork, and it's not so like digital. I think I think people that know kind of what I'm talking about will be able to discern it better for you than I would, because I'm really not the best with like how I phrase things. But like traditional work just makes you feel different when you look at it. And this level of like execution where he's making this monster, it just feels horror, like it's horror. Like I'm sure like the actual painting itself, like standing in person, is just really cool. Just really interesting to look at. Anyways, dudes, I don't want to ramble on too long over like start fanboying over a bunch of artists. Now, I know you guys are probably saying, "Hey, Mystic Fox, you talked about one of your friends that did artwork for Magic the Gathering." Yeah. Well, if you saw them, then you should definitely check out their work. And I'm not going to tell you where it is in the videos because I want you to click through all of my videos and leave a like on them and comment, haha, I found it when you do. So make sure you guys do that. Now, I think that's about it. Like just poke around and find things that you like and different artists that you like. Like, it's always a good idea. See how other people interpreted things or did things. This is really cool. I don't know what this card is for. Ah, Dungeon Magazine. Oh, it says that. Magic 2012 Online Cube. Oh, okay. I guess the Online Cube had a different Black Lotus. That's interesting. Okay. But yeah, guys, definitely go ahead and check that out. Find different artists, blah blah blah. Link will be in the description below if you want to check out these artists or buy something from their stores. You feel free to. Don't forget to like the video. Comment down below what artists do you think you like and what do you think traditional art kind of invokes, or why do you think it feels so much different than digital art? Maybe you don't think it does that. Just tell me down below. Alright, guys. As always, don't forget to stay mystical.